Thank you. Exactly 4 years ago, I come into this world, and after the doctor gave me a slap on the hiney, my father said, "This is the end." Now, I don't know if he was referring to a football career, or no more children, or no more boys. I was the third of 3 boys. 3 days later, the stock market crashed, the banks closed, and everyone went broke, and the Great Depression began. What a beginning! Boy, oh boy, they blamed it on me. The family blamed it on me. All right, so much for that. I can't thank everyone who had a part in my life up till now. But the biggest help I had, obviously, was from Joanne. Next summer, we will have been married 60 years. Right now. And I've got to tell you, Joanne wasn't only my wife, she was a caregiver to myself, to her family, to the neighbors, to anyone who needed medical help. She was there. And she spent time with them, and she helped them out. No thanks, no pay. She just did it, because that's the type of person she was. Now, to get into what I want to say to you people. I left 3 speeches at home because number one, I didn't know how much time I would have to do this, and I thought I was going to get extra time when that First Lady didn't show up. But apparently no one made any announcement. No one made any announcement, so I guess you're stuck with me for what I have. I just have to work with it. I said, I don't want to, I'm not trying to single anyone out, any sport out in the school, but I have something here I want to say to you that I think will epitomize what we were and what we can be. I'm talking basically about football, but it's true with basketball and soccer and hockey and everything else. What we were, we can once again be. So now I'd like to read you a little something here, and I hope I can see it. Occasionally, teams win but fail to gain their opponent's respect. Even rarer is the team that loses but earns the other team's respect. Some of you may figure out what I'm talking about here. Place Millersville University at football team in the latter category. The jokes were flying in North Dakota State this past weekend as North Dakota State University, the nation's top-ranked Division II team, hosted Millersville University. That little school from Amish country and tried to terrorize the Marauders, and the Marauders were wearing borrowed shoes from Penn State, as I recall. John Emsweiler had to go to Penn State and get buckets or bags or boxes full of shoes because they had an artificial surface. And we just had regular cleated shoes. But we got them taken care of, and we thank Penn State for that, obviously. We probably don't thank them for too many other things, but we'll thank them for that. No, I'm kidding you. I'm a closet Penn State fan. I just don't tell anybody. After Millersville, that is. When the game clock expired Saturday afternoon, and North Dakota State fans were relieved that their team, the winningest Division II team in playoff history, the winningest Division II team in playoff history, had escaped with a 36-26 victory. So we lost. Okay, we lost. But from that day on, Millersville, people just, they wanted to go to Millersville. They wanted to play for Millersville. They thought Millersville was something special. And it was, and it still is. Millersville will come back. In football, basketball, whatever. They will come back. I know they will. Okay. For head coach Gene Carpenter, Saturday's loss was tempered by the play of his team, which held North Dakota State until midway through the last quarter. In the last quarter, North Dakota State pulled ahead of us and won the game. And it was about a 10-point difference, I guess 8 or point 8 difference. However, it's the best game I was ever at, to tell you the truth. And I think the other coaches would agree with this. Coach Carpenter, of course, died. His wife could not be here. She was out of town, but she was going to come. Okay, now this is one of the parts that I really want you to get. Division 1A teams benefit from the recognition their surrounding major collegiate football teams as they compete for the national title and championship. It's mythical because television and bowl committees largely determine the match that they are going to be in. Crowning a national champion is secondary to earning a profit. Not so in Division 1 AA, Division 2, and Division 3. We're in there, obviously. We're a playoff system, not writers, hype, or television reporters determine the national championship. To have earned a place among the teams, the 16 teams in that playoff that year, was a great honor for all of the people in Millersville. Not only just the football team. I remember, this is funny. To me, it's funny. And I'll mention a name which I said I wasn't going to do. But Marge Trout was the female athletic director at the time. And I was the administrative assistant for football. And I had planned a trip to North Dakota State to get out there and play, along with other games that I planned. But Marge was around more than the coach was. So I'd go to Marge for advice. What do I do here? What do I do there? And Marge was such a help that we invited the cheerleaders to go along. She was the cheerleading coach. No, that's not true. They were invited to go along all along. But Marge helped me with that. Another funny thing about that was when Carpenter came in the office and saw what I had done, I left notes for him what I had done, he called every one of those damn people and asked if I had done this. Like I said, he just didn't want me to fool around with it. And he didn't. So we got it done. He called and he asked to talk to the personal chef, the chief chef of the place, the hotel we were staying, to make sure they got the right kind of beef. What kind of beef do you serve out there? Well, that was Carpenter. And we wouldn't have done anything without it. All right. So that's about all I can say. We will come back. I don't know if I'll be around or not. I won't be coaching them. There'll be coaches here. There'll be players here. There'll be money spent. There'll be money allocated. And it'll be used properly. This guy, that's now the head coach, is an excellent man. The president, the new president, is behind sports. And he will have a more positive effect, I think, than the other one, the last one did. So that's the speech I decided, or the paper I decided to tell you. This, by the way, it's not my original writing, too bad. I am quoting from the Intelligencer Journal, an opinion piece of Monday, December the 18th, December the 10th, no, November the 10th, 1988. That's when we were in North Dakota State.
Thank you, Bill.
You betcha.